Hello, hi, assalamualaikum, everyone. It's me, Ashraf. It's been almost 2 years, or I think over 2 years since I posted anything on here, and a lot has happened. I left TV early last year, and I've gone back to 9 to 5, and there's a reason for it, but I'm gonna keep that for later. The reason why I'm posting this again, because I finally got this brand new gear, and it's just your basic podcast gear, and I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. It's for a different project, but since it's still a big investment for me, I might as well just use it here. Stories by Ashraf. Before this, it was known as Jalan Lihat Dengar. I've been posting stories like Filmmaker's Journal, just to share footages, unused ones, the used ones, sharing my journey of how I film my stories when I was producing for TV, making documentaries for a flagship program at TV3, which is Majalah 3. But the reason why I stopped posting is because, as it turns out, I don't know, I want to say creative burnout, but it became a big trigger for me. Do understand that even though it's a flagship program, it's just a skeleton crew working on all of the stories. For instance, me as a producer, I would have to research the story, do all the pre-production planning. I have to call all the subjects, get their stories, and draft their storyline. From there, pitch to the executive producers, and then rush on the admin work. Get the crew, settle all the logistics, book hotel, paperwork for travel claims, and so much more. I have to book a car and a driver. And once we start filming, I have to know the kind of scenes that I want to get. I have to do interviews. I have to direct. I have to find all sorts of angles. And if there are extra elements to the story, I have to keep an eye on that as well. And all those production stuff, I have to know what's going on. And we're filming 3-5 days a week. And once we're done, I am the one who has to cut all of the stories and piece them together. And then I have to write the script for the voiceover. I have to cut the interview parts, find the best sound bites that we need, and it's at least 2 stories a month just doing that. And as much as TV, even to this day, it's like a platform that shows this glitz and glamour and all the great things in life, I barely have enough to survive. And at the end of the day, holidays, time with family, the sacrifice is huge. I don't get to go to any of those. My wife and kid, they'll go back hometown on holidays without me. And my time with family is practically non-existent. They call it bad time management, but to me, I was in the office way past midnight. And I'll be alone in the office, this huge office, because of bad time management. When the fact is, there's a lot of work to do, and you tend to get overwhelmed because you're working on a flagship program. You have over 2 million people watching every episode. Yeah, people telling you all the things that you do, they're just wrong. You're never right. When the fact is, when you watch films, it's something you don't really see. But when you watch films and start comparing your peers with others, in the end, art is art. It's up to you how to piece together a story, or it's up to you to find the right angles and how you want to tell your story. And yet, you're faced with a lot of these obstacles, just people telling you you're wrong. It tends to kill your self-confidence, and it became hard to do anything. Then when things kept getting rejected and you're wrong all the time, I digress, but this is what you're getting here. It's real, honest, and even to make those shorts, the ones I posted on socials, the ones I did over 2 years ago, even to show those filmmaker journey, I think I made about 6 or 7. They don't really get a lot of views. And to cut even those short stories, they took a lot from me, and it was really hard. So with this one, I think I'm just going to walk you through all the things that I do throughout my time filming, and I still am actually. I'm doing a bit of freelance work with RTM, two documentary programs where I get producer friends who still offer me these things. It's just something on the side because day job isn't enough. I'm sure everybody has, since COVID, everyone has 2, 3 jobs, and I'm still doing this. I still dabble in filmmaking. At least it's not totally cut off for me. I still love exploring. I still love doing this. It's just the situation, it just deteriorated my mental health. Even to post this video, any kind of videos really to put on socials, they're supposed to be easy. And here I am thinking I have to do things properly. People are going to say awful things to me, and I'm always afraid to open comments whenever I get them because I'm afraid of people telling me I'm wrong despite all of my best work, despite me trying my best to produce something, and to have people tell me I'm wrong, to tell me that the whole thing I'm doing is stupid. For other people, I mean, normally you would just take it as this. It's just someone trolling. It doesn't matter. But in my head, it hurts 100 times to a point where I get insomnia. I couldn't sleep at all and I couldn't function properly. So that's the reason why I stopped. It was hard for me to stop, but I had no choice. And then the 9 to 5, with the 9 to 5, I have more time. Well, not exactly more time, but I'm not at the office past midnight. I don't have to sacrifice time with family. And that is the worst thing you can do to family. Just to be bombarded with work and say, I can't come to this, I can't come to that, I'm working. You're going to regret that. People who have gone through it regret it, not being able to be with their family. And I don't want to have to walk that path. And the straw that broke the camel's back was during my last assignment. I fractured my toe, and because I was on contract, so I had to foot the bill. Everything from going to the clinic and all the way to the hospital. I digress. I love doing this, but there are heavy things and I had to leave. I love the stories that I do. I love all the exploration. I love finding amazing people and sharing their stories. Since I dabble in journalism, I've always believed, it sounds cliche, there's a story at every corner, but there really is. And if you just take time to talk to someone, everyone has a story to tell. I've been doing that, holding on to that ethos since I was working with a paper way back in 2012. I was given free reign to go wherever I want as long as I come back with a story and I can fill out the center spread with amazing pictures, and the editors, they're happy with me. Anyway, the whole setup that I made, no doubt it's a podcast, but I want to make them short form for videos and socials. I think at this point, for Stories by Ashraf, I'm just going to put out the long form on YouTube. So if you don't want to see many parts on one story, then you can just go ahead to YouTube and have a look at the full video. It's going to be on Jalan Lihat Dengar because I haven't changed the channel name, and I think I'm going to keep to it because I know on socials, even short form videos, people just go through 5 and 6 seconds and they move on to the next one. So there's no point for me to post long videos here, and it's just going to be wasted.